Hello, grade 2. Grade 2, grade 2, grade 2. Good morning, and it's our last subject, and it is science. Last subject for today. So for our science, last time we learned about the landforms and the water forms, and now we are going to, the topic is how we are going to take good care of our natural resources, yung mga likas na yaman, okay? So our natural resources, we have a renewable and non-renewable resources. So what is renewable resources? These resources are resources that can be replaced in a short period of time. So it can be replaced. All right. So later, I'm going to show you some examples of renewable resources. What about the non-renewable resources? The non-renewable resources are resources that are limited in supply. They cannot be replaced easily or cannot be replaced at once when they are used up. So a renewable resources, pwede pa itong mapalitan in a short period of time. But the non-renewable resources, pwede siya, it's limited. Okay, konti lang yung supply niya, it's limited. And it cannot be replaced easily, or it will take thousands of years to be replaced, or cannot be replaced at all once we use it up. All right. So now, what are the examples of renewable resources? So the first example of renewable resources are our plants and animals. They are renewable resources because they can reproduce, napapalitan, na pwede rin silang manganak, or we can plant again. All right? So they are renewable resources because they can reproduce, nagkakaanak pa sila, and we can replace themselves. Okay po? So also yung plants, we can plant also. Once we cut the tree, pwede tayong magpalit ng tree ulit. Okay? So another one is water. Water is important, and water can be replaced by what? How? How it can be replaced? Water in the river dries up. Diba? Umuunti yung water sa river, but when it rains, it comes back. So the lost water is replaced but through the rain. But if as of now, because we are too many and many people are using water these days, so but we need to limit our use of water. Wag nating paglalaruan, wag nating what's this? Aaksayain. Okay? Do not play with the water. Okay po? Next is the non-renewable resources. Okay, let's review first the renewable resources. What are the renewable resources? We have the plants, the animals, and water. All right, remember, renewable resources can be replaced in a short period of time, and the examples are plants, animals, and water. All right. Okay, now let's proceed to our non-renewable resources. So in our meaning, non-renewable cannot be replaced when used up. So examples are coal. These are the things that we got from mining, natural oil and gas, and other materials such as diamond, gold, silver, platinum, and copper. So these are the examples of non-renewable resources. Also, crops can be grown on the same land again and again for years if the soil is properly taken care of. If the soil is washed away, it will take hundreds and hundreds of years before it is replaced. It can be replaced. So another example is soil. Soil is an example of non-renewable resources. It cannot be replaced easily, the soil. So the soil is also considered as the non-renewable resources, especially during the landslide. If it is washed away ng water, there's a flood also, then the soil that replaced it will take hundreds and hundreds of years to be the soil that has been washed. It will take hundreds and hundreds of years to be replaced. So soil is also included in our non-renewable resources. Again, let's review the examples of non-renewable: coal, natural oil and gas, diamond, gold, silver, platinum, copper, and soil. Okay, so these are the examples of non-renewable resources. So what are we gonna do so that we cannot use it up, all the resources? So we need to conserve our natural resources. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng conserve? What is conservation? It means saving. Okay, we need to save the things that come from nature, like our air. We need to save it. We need to conserve it. Soil, water, animals, and plants. So we need to conserve this one. It means saving the things. Okay, so how can we save this one? The water, our oil, our soil, the animals and plants. How can we save them? Okay, number one, we need to use electrical devices responsibly because our electricity comes from the water energy. Okay, the less you use electricity, the lesser the fuel is consumed. Okay, so if we are using a much electricity, then we are using also a lot of fuel, and this fuel is from this one, the non-renewable resources. Okay, so it is from the non-renewable resources, and we are using a lot of electricity, then our non-renewable resources will be used up. Remember, the fuel is included in our non-renewable resources. Okay, it will take hundreds and hundreds, a long time for them to be replaced. Next, number two, the wild animals should be preserved too, because too much killing of animals could affect other animals. So we need to conserve our natural resources by not killing our animals, because it will affect also other animals, especially the wild, those who live, the animals that lives in the forest. Okay, because they also help the forest. Okay, next, number three, we need to support planting of new trees. People and animals will benefit from this. So para tayo ay makahelp sa our nature, we need to plant trees because we help the nature and the nature will help us also. Okay, we can benefit from the trees by what? If there's a flood, they can they are the one helping us to prevent flood, the trees. And also if it is too hot, they give us shade and a nice weather, right? Okay, next, number three, as much as possible, apply the principle of reduce, reuse, and recycle in the use of disposal of material things. So these are your garbage. So in your garbage, there are some things that we can reduce. Okay, reduce using of plastics. We need to reuse again, like the bottles. The bottles, we can reuse it by use it as a water bottle in our ref, or we can use it as a plant pot for our plants. Okay, and we need to recycle that one. We need to recycle, like in our arts, right? The boxes, the used boxes, you recycled it and you make it into a robot box. All right, you recycle your old boxes. Now, for let's review the ways on how we are going to conserve our natural resources. We need to use our electricity responsibly, and we need to preserve the wild animals, join in other tree planting, and the last one is the reduce, and recycle our materials. Okay? So now for our book work, open it on page 276. Open your book on page 276. Okay, are you there? All right, so if not, then you can pause the video. So it says here, write letter R if the material is renewable or can be replaced in a short period of time. And write NR if the material cannot be replaced easily. It will take hundreds of years to be replaced. So now for number one, coal, renewable, or NR, non-renewable. Next, let's proceed to our number two, plants, R or NR. Next, for number three, soil, R or NR. Next, for number four, animals, R or NR. And number five, water, R or NR. Okay, next, and let us answer the down part. You are going to answer here, what are the natural resources? Okay, ano ba yung mga likas na yaman? What are the natural resources? You are going to write your answer here. Okay, for the next question, what is the difference between renewable and non-renewable? So you are going to explain what is renewable resources and what is the non-renewable resources. And for the last question here, what are some ways to conserve natural resources? You can give one. How to save our natural resources. Okay, so you can pause the video while you are answering the 1, 2, 3. Okay po, pause the video while you are answering number 1, number 2, and number 3. And once you are finished answering 1, 2, 3, then play the video again. Okay, so for those who are done already, okay, again, pause the video if you are not yet done. For those who are done, let's proceed to our next topic, and that is how we affect the earth's land and water. What are our actions? What are the things or activities that we do that can affect the earth's land and water? So the first one is the soil pollution. How do we affect our soil? First, if we are cutting too much of trees. If we cut too much of trees, then we'll have a soil pollution. What else? Throwing of garbage and waste improperly in our land, sa land natin. If we are throwing the garbage improperly and our waste improperly, then we'll have our soil pollution. Magkakaroon ng pollution ang ating lupa. And number 3, overuse of fertilizers and pesticides in our soil. Diba? If we are planting our crops, we are using pesticides and fertilizers. But if we overuse it, then it will damage our land, our soil. Okay? So these are the things that can affect our soil. Okay, again, too much cutting of trees, throwing improperly of our garbage and waste, and number 3, overuse of fertilizers and pesticides. So what happened to our soil if we do this? Of course, they are gonna have some soil-borne diseases. So soil-borne diseases are diseases that are caused by fungal pathogens which survive in the soil surface. And if the fungal pathogens are in our soil, the plant parts that are affected, if we plant in that soil and there's disease, the plants starts to show stunting, wilting, and eventually dying. So yan yung mga yung soil-borne disease. All right. Now, let's proceed to our water pollution. So what is the cause of water pollution? Of course, again, throwing of garbage and human waste into the water. Okay, so please, 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 please do not throw your garbage sa water, and also the human waste, yung mga pupo natin, di ba, yung ibang tao ginagawa ito. All right, so it will affect our water. And of course, the number 2, using of detergents and bleaching materials. It can cause water pollution also. If we use it, yeah, we are using it because we are washing, especially in the river, yun, ng mga detergents and bleaching materials. So this will cause a water pollution. And what are the waterborne diseases? Diseases that spread through contaminated water. What we can get? Of course, cholera, dysentery, typhoid, fever, and diarrhea. So kapag yung water natin is not good, it's not safe, so these are the diseases that we can get from the water. Okay, cholera, dysentery, typhoid fever, and diarrhea. Now, let's proceed to our last, the air pollution. So what is the cause of air pollution? Pile of garbage lying around the streets. So if there's garbage on the streets, it's baho, yeah, it's stinky, and then it will affect our air. Next, number 2, black smoke from chimneys of the different factories. Diba? The factories, they have some smoke that comes out from their chimneys. So that one is not good in our air. And number 3, of course, also the smoke coming from vehicles. Okay, so too much vehicles, then it will cause air pollution. So what are the diseases that we can get from air? So these are the common cold and cough, throat infection, because when we inhale it, the air, it will cause a throat infection, influenza, chicken pox, and tuberculosis. So here are the diseases. Okay, so let's review. First is the soil pollution. What is the activities that we are doing to affect our soil? Too much cutting of trees, throwing garbage improperly, and overuse of fertilizers. And the diseases are the fungal pathogens. And because of this one, the plants will wilt, will stunt, and eventually some are dying. Okay, for the water pollution, what are the activities that can cause the water pollution? Throwing of garbage into the water, and also our human waste, and using of detergents and bleaching materials. So what are the diseases that we can get from water? Cholera, dysentery, typhoid fever, and diarrhea. Next, what is the cause of air pollution? Pile of garbage in the streets, black smoke from the factory, and the smoke from the vehicle. So what are the airborne diseases that we can get? Of course, we can have a common cold, a cough, throat infection, influenza, chicken pox, and tuberculosis. So this is how we need to be mindful with our action, because one bad action can cause pollution, and it can also harm you through the diseases that we can get from this pollution. All right, so if you are not following, if you are not taking good care of our earth, then it will get back to us, right? But if we are taking good care of our earth, then we can live happily, safe in our earth environment. Okay, so how we are going to show care and concern for the earth para to maintain our earth cleanliness, Okay, so first, we need to plant more trees para yung ating air is gonna be a fresh air, not unpolluted air. Next, we need to dispose our garbage properly so that it will not go to the water and it will not get stinky amoy, okay? Bahong amoy. Next, number 3, we need to segregate our garbage. The non-recyclable, yung nabubulok, hindi nabubulok, the materials, yung glass, papers, we need to segregate it. Okay, number 4, avoid burning trees. All right. And number 5, do not burn solid waste like the paper, the plastics, and the other materials. It can harm our earth. All right. Don't burn that one. So the plastics and the papers and other materials that cannot be burned, you can sell it. Okay, you can have money pa if you sell it. So please do not burn those. And number 6, avoid excessive cutting down of trees. And the last one, save the water and our electricity. All right. So now for our book work, open your science book, page 287. Okay, we are going to answer the letter A and the letter B. So number 1, for the letter A, the instruction is you are gonna write yes if the statement is correct and no if it is incorrect. Number 1, pollution harms the productivity of soil. The pollution can harm the soil. Okay, the productivity of the soil. Is it yes or a no? Next, number 2. Too much cutting down of trees helps animals and people around. If we cut too much of trees, it can help the people and the animals. Is it yes or a no? Next, number 3. The washing away of soil is called soil erosion. Yes or a no? Next, number 4, smoke coming from factories helps clean the air. Yes or a no? And number 5, put all the kinds of garbage in one container. Is it a yes or a no? Okay, now here you are going to write the two following the two diseases from airborne. What are the diseases that we can get? The waterborne from water and the soil-borne diseases. Write it here. Okay, so you can pause the video while you are writing the airborne, the waterborne, and the soil-borne diseases. So once you are done, play the video again. And for those who are done, study for our quiz tomorrow and take a picture of pages 276 and 287, then send it in our class dojo. That's all, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye. Love you all.